Thank you very much. Please, let's take our seats. Excellencies, members of Council and Management of the National Defense University, Kenya, distinguished faculty, graduates, family, friends, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to join you on this auspicious occasion, the third graduation ceremony of the National Defense University, Kenya, to honor and celebrate the achievements of this remarkable cohort of graduates who now join the ranks of those fully empowered to serve our nation and humanity. We are also gathered to reaffirm the ideals that define this university: excellence in education, service to the nation, and innovation through rigorous research in the pursuit of peace and security. This graduation comes at a fluid moment for our country and the globe. The pace of change is accelerating. The boundaries between traditional and evolving security threats are blurring. Our defense and security architecture is in constant flux. Rapid technological advancement, especially in artificial intelligence, are proving both a boon and a threat. These trends compel us to adopt agile, innovative, and adaptable strategic approaches across every sphere of national and international life, including our security architecture, our education policies, and the broader landscape of economic development. In these areas, flexibility, foresight, and disciplined creativity have become indispensable for national advancement. I am therefore proud that the National Defense University, Kenya, has distinguished itself as a dependable institution capable of undertaking sensitive research with far-reaching implications for our security and for our development. The work done here ensures that research-driven, data-guided, and evidence-based solutions inform national policy, strengthening our capacity to respond to rapidly evolving challenges with clarity and with confidence. I commend the University Council and management for their steadfast commitment to the research initiatives I have continued to assign from time to time. Studies addressing critical national concerns, including sustainable approaches to security in the North Rift, all of society's strategies addressing femicide, and the influence of fake news, misinformation, and disinformation on governance and leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, in my State of the Nation address yesterday, I identified human capital development as one of the 4 national priorities alongside expansion and transformation of agriculture, generation of additional energy, and expansion of transport and logistics to propel Kenya to the next frontier of leadership. We settled on human talent development because our people, the people of Kenya, are the most precious and irreplaceable resource that we have. No country can rise above the abilities of its citizens. A nation that truly intends to prosper, as Kenya does, must therefore elevate the capabilities of its people through deliberate skill development, the deepening of knowledge, and the strengthening of creativity and innovation. We are resolute in our mission to expand science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education programs fortify our innovation ecosystem, promote cutting-edge research, and cultivate a formidable cadre of high-level professionals in all those fields, in engineering, in science, in research, in technology, and associated fields. It is for this reason that the government of Kenya is committed to scaling up the National Research Fund from the current 0.8% of GDP to the required and legally provided 2% of GDP. It is also the reason why I deliberately reorganized government and created the State Department for Research, Technology, and Innovation. This increased investment is essential to driving this vision and will ultimately raise our national research budget to close to R1 trillion shillings in the next 10 years. Through this fund, we expect our universities to stand at the forefront of research, innovation, and technological development. And this morning, I had a conversation with both the council and management of this university on the need to plug into the ecosystem that is being created, where we are consolidating all our research resources, our research intervention, and coordinating and creating more synergy so that research in all the fields is coordinated, is funded appropriately, and is scaled up so that we can benefit from the outcomes of research, be they in innovation, be they in business, and in all other ideas that gradually develop into businesses and into interventions. We expect to see a steady rise in patents originating from our institutions of higher learning and research. We also expect deeper collaboration between universities and industry, partnerships that design practical solutions to real-world challenges, as it happens in leading innovation ecosystems around the world, from Silicon Valley University industry clusters to the research corridors of South Korea, Israel, and Germany. And today, I was also having a conversation with the leadership of this university that slowly we want to get graduates that are job ready, that are industry ready, and there need to be more practical skills. We have asked our TVETs, as I ask those who are being trained here for diploma and other courses, that the university must facilitate more industrial engagement, more practical engagement in industry as a means of preparing graduates that will be industry ready, connecting theory, practicals, and industry. The National Defense University, Kenya, will play a critical frontline role in advancing this agenda. The curriculum of every program offered must be aligned with our national priorities today and for the future. I therefore commend the university for developing capstone programs on national security and ethics designed to foster a collective understanding of our evolving security environment and to ensure coherence in policy formulation and implementation across government. I take note, of course, of the different courses and the different engagements facilitated by this university and training of principal secretaries, cabinet secretaries, and other senior members of government to understand and to be part of our security architecture policy making that will facilitate not just the security of our country, but the progress of our nation. To the graduating class of 2025, you step into a world that is dynamic, interconnected, and full of opportunity. You have acquired critical skills that must now be applied in defending and advancing our nation. I urge you to use these skills, particularly in strategic and critical thinking, to confront and resolve the complex challenges that lie ahead of you. I urge you, just as I urge all Kenyans, to dream boldly and aspire greatly. Do not be content with the ordinary or the average. You are the visionaries of this generation, entrusted with the duty of actualizing Kenya's immense potential for greatness. Do not settle for less. I reaffirm the government's steadfast commitment to supporting the National Defense University Kenya in fulfilling its mandate. We shall continue to invest in research, in infrastructure, and training to ensure that this university remains a world-class institution of learning. And let me say this, that as we focus our attention on lifting Kenya from where we are today, and I am persuaded beyond any reasonable doubt that the potential we have in this nation hasn't been scratched. We haven't started. This country stands for much more greater than where we are today. And the priority areas that we are focusing on as a nation in making sure that we lay the firm foundation for our development of human capital. Because I have said, and I believe it very strongly, that the biggest, the greatest, the most important asset that we have as a nation is our human capital. And to be able to tap into the potential of our human capital, we must sharpen it through education, knowledge accumulation, training, and making sure that we unlock the largest potential possible from our human capital, and translating ideas, knowledge, innovation into practical solutions for the challenges that we face today as a nation. I am very happy to note that in our midst, we have engineers, we have people who are training in the space of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Because as we move our country forward with the determination that I see, like for example, next week on Friday, I will be in this county to begin the first 170 kilometers of dualing of the road from Rironi all the way to Mount Summit. That comes with requirements of human capital. I was having a conversation this week with a company that is going to undertake that huge exercise where they are investing their own resources. It's not government of Kenya resources. They will be investing in the construction of this road. And the conversation I was having with them on how we need more engineers, how we need more people to design bridges, viaducts, and all the other road infrastructure, how we are going to use the capacities they have to transfer technology and transfer knowledge to more engineers in Kenya, to more people like the one I see graduating here today, so that they can not only appropriate what we need to do as a nation, but we can create a pool of highly qualified professionals to drive the development of our country. We will shortly require more engineers in water technology, in dam construction, in making sure that value addition, agro-processing becomes the norm rather than the exception. Today, we still export quite a bit of our products in raw form, and we need to change that. I did say yesterday, we import today more than we export. And if we continue this way, there is very little likelihood that we can grow wealth if we are using more money to buy things from other places than the money we receive from the products we sell to other markets. It means we are draining the resources we have. We have to change that. We need to export more than we import. And that is the reason why logistics, making sure that we develop the necessary road infrastructure, the necessary logistics that will get our country connected, move products from markets, from fields, from farmers to markets, engage our manufacturing and agro-processing infrastructure. And for us to do that, I did say yesterday, we need energy. We need electricity. At the moment, the electricity that we have is not sufficient to power our transformation. I remember when I went to the United States for that invitation by President Joe Biden. One of the program we signed into is a program that would put Kenya, Microsoft, and G42 of the UAE in the setup of what we wanted to be data centers powered by green energy, because we have green energy in abundance. But when the details were revealed to us, we needed an extra 1,000 megawatts of energy to be able to run the data centers that we had signed into. So just imagine we have 3,300 megawatts of energy, but because of intermittence of some of the supply, whether it is wind or solar, the confirmed energy that we have is 2,300, maybe 400 megawatts. So if we need 1,000 megawatts to run the data centers, it means we have to shut down half the country to be able to run that program. That tells you how desperately we need to generate energy. If we have to leverage on technology, on artificial intelligence, on data centers, because that is the future of our economy. That is where the world is going. And therefore, as a matter of urgency, we need to generate an extra 10,000 megawatts like yesterday. And I believe that all this is doable. And shortly, Kenyans will see the rollout of what I said yesterday, because we are behind time. Tumechelewa. So we need to catch up with those who are moving in the right direction. So this university has a very special place. All our universities, all our institutions of learning must appropriate their place. As I said yesterday, we are going to spend more resources in equipping our men and women, making sure that our schools, our colleges, our universities are properly funded. They have the necessary capabilities to train, to teach, and to educate the Kenyan population. It is the reason why I have increased the budget for education from close to 500 billion shillings to 700 billion shillings in the last 3 years, because education is important. Our training of human capital is important, because as I have said, no nation can grow beyond the abilities of its citizens. So if we have to move to the next level, we have to train, we have to get the men and women with the capacity to think, with the capacity to plan for our progress. So universities, colleges, I call upon you to appropriate your place, to take up your responsibility. Government of Kenya, we will raise the necessary resources. It is the reason why we have increased our university funding from about 45 billion shillings in 2022 to 82 billion shillings this year, because the training, the sharpening of our human capital is central to our development and our progress as a nation. And therefore, those of you who are graduating here today, I have told you that you occupy a very special place in shaping the future of our country. And each and every one of us must know that you have a contribution to make. Each and every one of us, from wherever you are, whatever the job you have, whatever your station in life, you have a duty, a responsibility to Kenya to make your contribution to the progress of our nation. It is not going to be a one-man adventure. It's not going to be a section or a sector. It's going to take all of us to pull together and move Kenya to the next level. I am very confident that we can do this in our lifetime. When we are here, we can do it. We can see a different Kenya when we are here. So, congratulations to the graduating class. You have our blessings, you have our prayers, you have our support as you step into your areas of responsibilities, as you step into your areas of expertise. Please do the very best. Work for whoever you work as though you are working for God. Do the best. Put your best, very best foot forward in everything that we do, and I believe that together we are going to succeed. Congratulations again. My very best wishes. Thank you for your attention. Asante sana.